Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com, joined as usual by Jason Cole.
What's up, everybody?
And check this out. We have RJ Gritter. What is going on, RJ?
Oh, what's going on, guys? It's a long time no see.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Speaking of seed and long time, I feel like you've been in the hobby. Like when I started going to events and things back in the olden days, you were there, right? Have you been in the RC industry, or not the industry, but the hobby, like your whole life?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess I got into it about 20 years ago now.
Okay, that's
right.
about
Yeah,
me. That's the same time.
a lifetime.
So ETOC, and when all those things were really coming up and just starting, actually, that's when you kind of jumped in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I was there the third year of ETOC. I think 07 was my first year. I remember watching, I think it was the second ever ETOC, one of those live streamed on RC groups.
Yes.
And which was, live stream. That was before live streaming, right? That was really radical at the time.
Yeah.
I was sitting at home watching that and got hooked immediately. I was flying RC before that, but not competing. I wasn't in indoor foamies or anything. I watched that and said, I want to go do that next year. And so I just went crazy on foamies for the year, learned aerobatics, learned to fly precision aerobatics, and built foamies, and I did it.
That's
I
awesome.
managed to sneak in the next year. Yeah, and it was a blast.
Let me say this to everyone out there. Imagine that if you weren't there, there was no there was nothing. If you wanted to see an event, you had to go to RC Groups, and live streaming was. Jason was there with me in the later days, but it was highly, almost impossible to get a live stream out of anywhere at a feed rate that was worth a dang. And but there was really only one place to go to look at RC on the internet, and that was RC Groups. And so that's awesome that you were out there watching at the time.
It was awesome. Yeah, I still try to sneak back and watch some of those old videos sometimes. It was that coverage was awesome.
Oh my God, so much work. So with that said,
I bet.
Your father's a full-scale pilot? Is that what my research says?
Yeah, both my whole family basically. My dad is an aerospace engineer and test pilot for most of his career.
Wow.
My mom's an ATP flight instructor, TV personality, and so I grew up in the cockpit from a real young age. So I was flying full-scale airplanes before I stared RC by a good margin, but got into RC really heavily. I did a little bit with my dad growing up. We got a couple of different models that we taught ourselves to fly, but I got into it really heavily when one of my mom's flight students, full-scale flight students, was an avid RC pilot, and he gave me a Habago Flight Star 40. And took me out to the club. Loved that airplane. And buddy boxed me and taught me to fly on that. And I was hooked and permanently in it from there.
So you started flying full scale first, then you went RC. And now the reason everyone we're here is RJ's current plane that he flies on the circuit is been recreated by Horizon as an RC plane. And we can go take a look real quick, just an overview here. So this is your full-scale bird, and then this is your RC plane.
You got it. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. So over the past year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, we ripped my Decathlon apart right at the end of the air show season to fully rebuild, restore, repaint, give it a fresh new life. And we tore it all the way down to the frame and rebuilt it ground up. And in the process, gave it a pretty flashy paint scheme. So my buddy, who many of you probably know, Aaron Bates, from Caroline Design, he designed paint schemes for a bunch of the Extreme Flight 3D hobby shop models. I went to him and said, Aaron, I want a scheme that looks like an RC airplane and still looks like a classic Decathlon Starburst paint scheme, but I want to put an RC scheme on a big airplane. And this is what he came up with. And I couldn't be happier with it.
That's cool. I didn't know Aaron did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
What does it entail? I know they did this with Patey's plane, but when they come to you and say, hey, we want to turn your plane into an RC plane, does that mean that they're going to come out and hang out with your airplane and do 3D things? And what all happened?
So this was a little unique because we were building my airplane while they were developing the model. And so I'd been talking to Steve. I'd been known all the Horizon guys for a long time. And a couple years ago, I think at Oshkosh, kind of started talking to him about maybe doing something. And when they got serious about it and said, hey, we want to do a decathlon model, I said, well, hey, I'm going to be putting a whole new paint scheme on my airplane. Why don't we coordinate and do the new scheme? And so Aaron and I, worked on the scheme and sent them a draft, just kind of the tail. And they said, all right, yeah, we like it. We can do it. So they agreed to do it before they even got to see the full scheme.
Wow.
So we finished the thing up, sent it off to them, and then went back and forth, as we changed little things. This is funny. I haven't even watched this video yet.
Nice.
As we changed little things, we'd feed them updates. As I put all the stickers on the airplane, we sent them pictures of where everything wound up and to try to keep it all in sync. And man, they couldn't be closer. They came out really, really
Nice.
really nice.
It's got Horizon Hobby on your real one. That's
of course, yeah. I was posting videos. Oh, that's cool. I was posting videos for a while with the Horizon sticker, and people were like, they should make a model. Like, that's a great idea. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it was hard to keep it secret. Yeah, it's so cool.
Well, I guess the big question is, how does it fly? Now, there's no way the small plane's going to fly like your full scale plane, but how does it feel in your hands when you're flying the RC plane?
Shockingly good.
Nice.
I couldn't be much happier with how the model flies. And honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised when I got to fly it. It's these models have come a long way. AS3X does a lot, but this airplane just flies really well. It's very true. It's not. You've flown decathlon models, right? Many of them are a little snappy, a little goofy, with lots of kind of weird coupling, and they're not very natural. This one doesn't act that way. Some of what you see in this video is me flying. It actually is a pretty sweet precision aerobatic airplane. You put a little bit of speed on it, and you can go fly pattern maneuvers with it really happily.
Wow.
I was shocked. I was really, really shocked. I got to go fly one of the prototypes on my way home from Oshkosh, actually. I met them in Champaign and really enjoyed it. And then I got a little sneak peek model and got a few flights on it before it came out.
Nice.
I'm
loving it.
Did they get your input and say, what do you think? Is there anything we should change?
Yeah. We talked about a few things. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot to say, but when I stopped by Champaign and flew it, I tried some things like, it's funny. The big airplane actually does this better. I think this thing just needs a little more rudder. So we messed with it while we were there, redid the linkages, and suddenly it snaps and spins like the big airplane. So that stuff made it into the model.
So it carries that weight through. So did you work with David Payne on this? Who was your main contact?
Yeah, I both Steve Petrotto and David Payne. I think David Payne did most of the airplane development, and he was the one that kind of put the bug in everyone's ear and convinced the company to work with me on it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun working with both of them.
It looks like the strut system looks like it's easy to remove. That's like one of the most frustrating things for me with some airplanes. It's just a pain in the butt to put together.
The screws or whatever.
It's really slick. The strut's it's actually sitting in front of me here. The bottom of the strut just clips on. There's no fastener to mess with, and then the jury struts fold up too. And then I think they showed it in the video. They've got this neat little plastic clip that holds the struts to the wing for transport, so they're not flopping around breaking. And then that clip clips into the fuselage, so you don't lose it. So while you're flying, it's just in there. So it's pretty neat. And it's the other nice thing is it's just the right size. I can just set it in the back seat of the truck and go. So I actually never have to take the thing apart.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I couldn't be happier. This would have been a really cool project if the airplane just looked neat and flew okay. But I actually love flying it. So I'm really happy with it. Yeah.
All right, everyone, you've heard it from the horse's mouth here. Let me ask you this. Let's say someone makes a copy of the plane that you fly and it's everything you want. How many of these things do you have in your possession?
How many of the models do I have?
The RC model, yeah.
I have one sitting in front of me here. I've got one in a box.
Okay.
And that's what I've got right now. I'm going to get a few more. My plan is to take one to most of the air shows with me this year.
Oh, yeah.
They often do RC demos at air shows, and I kind of get jealous. So I'm going to take this thing out, jump into the demos a little bit.
These would also be great prizes. You can autograph the box, and it'd be a nice thing to have at all your air shows.
Yeah. We're going to do that already at one of the shows. They already ordered one to get me to sign and raffle off. So yeah, there will be a lot of that.
Speaking of air shows, talk to us a little bit about, I know that you have a meeting coming up, but talk to us a little bit about these air shows that you attend in your full scale plane.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I started flying air shows, in 2016, the very end of 2016. And I've been doing it ever since. I've worked my way kind of into the industry and worked down in level to where I can fly at the surface now, in aerobatics all the way down to the ground. You have to get a bunch of experience to do that. So I've been doing it professionally for the past few years. And the video you're seeing here is me flying Oshkosh last year. It's been really cool to get into the airshow world and kind of gain a little notoriety and get accepted into that world and get to fly on some big stages. This year we'll be flying at Sun and Fun and Oshkosh, which are a couple of the biggest shows in the country. And it's really crazy. I grew up as a kid going to those shows, and it's an honor to be able to go perform on that stage. Airshow flying is a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of RC freestyle flying. And that you get the creativity to build a sequence, put it together, and then go perform. And I've carried a lot of kind of my style of RC flying into this.
So RC kind of trained you for this.
It completely did. I actually didn't take aerobatic lessons. No one should do this. No one should copy me on this. But I didn't go take lessons the way most people did. I got the airplane and just carried my RC knowledge into it. Had some very good mentors, flew with some people to make sure I was safe, but pretty quickly I flew with them and they said, yeah, you're good. Just go practice. The mechanics are all just the same as RC flying. And just that RC experience gives you an intuitive feel for how the airplane's going to behave. And I found it really easy to adapt.
Let me ask you this. How worried were you about stressing the airframe? Because I know, like RC aerobatics, we put some serious loads on these airframes. What about that with the real plane?
Let me stand on top of that question and say, do your aerobatics look different because you do them in an RC type manner? So that goes with what Jason said.
Yeah, yes, I think so. As far as the loads go, the Decathlon's rated for +6, -5 Gs. Flying RC stuff, you'd probably generally pull more Gs than that because the airplane kind of in a scale way is moving a lot faster. So you can pull a lot more G. But that's all you need to do all the aerobatics you're seeing here.
Okay,
Any more G than that, and you're scrubbing too much energy off. The Decathlon doesn't have that much horsepower. It's certainly not going to hover. The model will, but this one won't. And so that's all the G-force you need to do everything you want. My normal show is +5.5, -4.5 Gs. So with a little margin there. And yes, I think I do fly the airplane a little. Like I said, I carry the RC style in. I try to do maneuvers kind of crisp and precisely, and do some radical freestyle type maneuvers, but with competition type precision. One of the maneuvers that kind of everyone loves that I do at the very end of my show is just one long slow roll. And I think I picked that up probably from the days at Joe Null, where that was the thing to do, right? Slow roll all the way down the flight line.
Bob Sadler.
And so I do one big slow roll down the whole show line at an air show.
Love it.
And that's not an easy thing to do in the decathlon. You've got the airplane does have a lot of coupling, right? Just like an RC model would. It has a lot. It's a little different because the stick kind of moves to where it wants to, and it's a whole different feel. But you have to fight all that, and the decathlon really makes you work for it.
So cool.
So it's super, super cool. Yeah.
You got to make it down to our neck of the woods. The Great Middle Tennessee Air Show is pretty big show. It's right in our backyard.
I know. I've been wanting to come fly that one for a while. We were at Smyrna, Tennessee last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope to.
Yeah,
we need to get Bob Sadler out to Oshkosh to MC your flight.
That would be great. That would be a throwback. I'd love that.
If anyone here watching has contact or can just call Bob, just tell Bob to watch this video and somehow we'll put it together. We got JC Ace Ducia down there one year. I'm sure we can get Bob Sadler down there.
There you go.
That would be a riot.
Well, this is awesome. Oh, I was going to say, do you ever run into Jim Burke, the founder of RC Groups, or my RC girlfriend, Patty Wagstaff?
Yes. Both of them. Yeah, I run into Jim at the ICAST convention and then at like Oshkosh and such. Yeah, it's awesome to see what he's done in IAC and not only in it as a hobby, but in leading the IAC and getting super involved and with the US team and everything. It's very awesome. Yes, and then Patty's fantastic. I'm honored to call her a friend. idolized her growing up, flying her airplane in Microsoft Flight
Right.
Sim and flying the models and everything. And
Yep.
that's one of the things that's been cool getting into air shows, is getting to become friends with these people. Patty's been a great mentor for me, and she actually did one of my evaluations, I think for my surface level aerobatic card when I finally got all the way down. Yeah.
How cool is that?
So very cool to go fly shows with her now. Yeah.
I was working for a company here, and I pitched a TV show to her, and she got back and she said, "Man, it sounds great, but I'm busy teaching bush pilots how to catch poachers in their airplanes, and I'm busy." And I was like,
yeah, she goes out there every year and instructs. Yeah, exactly. They've got a big wildlife flying operation out there where they catch, look for poachers and look for hurt animals and protect the wildlife. Super cool. What you've got, I'm about in the video here. I'm about to dive in for that slow roll.
Oh, here we go.
As the big final maneuver. You just got to wait for me to get down from 700 feet.
Yeah.
Jason and I have actually been here one year, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I love it there. It's awesome. I've flown at Oshkosh in a paraglider.
Nice. That's got to be an awesome view of the grounds.
It was super fun, yeah. A little scary though, because you got some faster ultralights flying like all around you, and you're like watching for traffic.
Yeah,
don't run into me, please.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a busy place, but I've been going to Oshkosh since I was a little kid, and even before I started flying in the show, which was only the past couple of years. I would fly the decathlon up there, park it in IAC, and then camp for the week.
That would be awesome.
It's a magic place. Yeah.
You sit under the wing in the shade, eating your lunch.
That's exactly right. It's the full scale Joe Nall, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't been to Joe Nall in a few years. I need to get back there.
Fighter Town blew my mind that there were so many vintage planes in one place. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, everyone, I know that you're busy. We're really here to talk about the release of the RJG Decathlon, which can be found here on the Horizon page. And then we have a full piece on rcgroups.com. I'm sure it's had thousands of views and people talking about this airplane. So big congrats to you.
Thank you. Yeah, go check it out. Go to horizonhobby.com/RJ. That lets them know that I sent you, and then maybe we can do more things like this.
There you go.
Right? Nothing's in the works yet, but if this one does well and they know, hopefully we can do some more. So
you'll just have to build a whole nother airplane. So that'll be awesome for you.
There are more airplanes around. There are more in the works. So I'd love to keep going.
Perfect. All right, everyone. RJ Gritter, who's now going to go off to some important high-power airplane meeting, I'm sure. And thanks so much for your time and stopping. And don't leave yet, though, everyone. We're not done.
Good to see you all.
See you, RJ. Thanks, man.
Bye, RJ. Thank you so much.
See ya.
That was awesome.
Good dude. Really good dude.
I meant to ask him how old he is. I know he's younger than we are, but not by much. He must be. He looks like a kid, so either he's living right or he's young. Yeah. But that was awesome.
Super cool. Glad we got to have him on the show for sure.
Okay, so Jason, we still have the RC news of the week to do. Part of me, while we were doing this, I'm like, this is so good. It should maybe be its own segment. What do you think? Should we continue on? Now, I know YouTube likes videos that are 30 minutes long, and we're only at 18 minutes. So we do have time.
Let's blow through some news.
All right. And by that, everyone, we have a lot of news. And once again, each week, I think, how much news can there be since the last time we've done this? And there is a lot of news just from today alone. Let me try to zoom in on this page a little bit. There we go.
Yeah.
So I just posted this for High Tech. It's the Pop Wing event. I meant to go back. I've got a Pop Wing. It's literally hanging 30 feet away from me. And if you've never flown one, they're just easy to build, easy to fly. They're even great FPV craft, if you ask me.
So I wish they would do some of these events on the East Coast so I could go versus out in California. I'd love to go to this. It'd be so much fun.
And it looks like they're flying. So that's a Pop Wing right there. But they also flew a lot of different aircraft out there.
Yeah.
And you can go check out all the photos, and there are more than a few right here in High Tech. They're in the High Tech highlight section at the very tippy top of the site. Big thanks to High Tech for always supporting us. I'm working on something right now. It's a super secret. If you're with High Tech, if Suzanne is listening, Suzanne, we got to nail the deal down so that we can have some more RC things happening later in the year. This just came out, Jason, I believe this morning. Did you? Have you
Yeah,
seen
I
it
was
yet?
like, I didn't know about it. It looks like high-tech, futuristic, cool. I don't know anything about it other than the article posted, but it looks awesome.
I believe these photos came to me through David Payne because they are super high quality, and that's
Yeah.
why I threw them at the
Is
front.
I've never seen a helicopter. Is this like a sport helicopter or is this a scale
Well,
fuselage? I don't think I've seen a full scale
it's an
helicopter
innovative
look like
blend
this.
of futuristic looks, including fully molded
Okay.
painted EPO body.
Yeah.
It's designed to be capable of smooth hovering plus scale-like sport flight.
Yeah.
And with that said, let's just go take a quick look at the video.
It certainly does
Flaps
not
down.
look like most helicopters you've seen.
I'm not sure how that plane got in this video.
Yeah, maybe it was like airplane pilots can fly helicopters too, and that's what they're trying to show. Marketing.
Now, I
It's some
believe these
marketing
wheels
idea.
retract. That's got to be it. I mean, why would you put that in
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
It is just so good looking.
Yeah.
Is this what Airwolf looked like? My brain is faintly remembering Airwolf.
Yeah, ish. Not exactly, but similar. Those aerobatics, okay, fully
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't show that.
EPO body. Yeah, it'll do loops and rolls and all that.
That is hot.
It's interesting, yeah. It's definitely unique looking.
Okay, so I have all the information, all the features, more photos than you would ever need, plus a video. So go check it out. I'm sure it's cost effective and literally just came out today. So it's brand spanking new. Blog of the week.
Blog. I didn't want to go a week without having a blog of the week, but I'm off tomorrow. I've got a wedding to go to. So I went ahead and posted it on Thursday. This guy's just awesome, posting videos of some old engines being test run. This is like a 1960s era OS, engine. With the little, you see the butterfly valve working there to reduce it to idle speed. I don't know. People like weird videos like this, just the engine running on a test stand.
Hold on.
It's pretty cool.
That's the exhaust outlet. And it's modulating the exhaust, right? Am I wrong?
Well, it's like, yeah, a little butterfly valve to help control the speed. It's interesting. It's moving like it's opening the carburetor. You can see it connected to both.
Yeah, it's coupled,
right?
Yeah.
And it like somehow this is ancient technology, seemingly. But whatever that butterfly valve to close off that exhaust helps it to just reduce the speed for idle. Apparently, I've never had an engine like that. I was gonna the modern OS era back when I got started.
Okay, so let me say, when you watch the video, and everyone that's watching us, can you smell the glow? Like could you smell it and feel the stickiness?
Like glow exhaust in the morning.
For real, I really do like it. But when I started flying, my first motor was a torpedo, and it had to be from the 60s. It was the worst motor on earth. And I've said it in the past, it taught me how to land because it never lasted for half a flight before it flamed out. So
quick story. I started with gliders, no motor. Then I got into electric airplanes with the Zaggy and some other electric airplanes. My first ever nitro powered plane was something I bought from Hobbyco. It had a Thunder Tiger engine in it.
Yeah, TT.
Thunder Tiger 40, and it was terrible. Like I almost quit flying glow altogether because of that. And they were like, it came in a combo like with the whole airplane, right? It was like a trainer style. They were like, get an OS engine. I was like, all right. So I bought an OS 40, put it on there. It ran flawlessly. You just do a lot more tinkering with the old Thunder Tiger engines to get those to work well. But you could get it. But as a newbie, I had no knowledge about it. But OS just worked.
And not to go too far into this, but as a profile guy, when you're hovering, flame outs equal crash plane. So I flew Irvine 53s, which were theoretically at the time, based on the limited information you could gather, the best as far as I was concerned, glow engine. And so I had everything. I had little O-rings, anything you might need for an Irvine 53. I kept it in a box. So
all your glow plugs back in the day. Yep.
All right. So we're headed back in to the RC news. This is from our fine folks at Telslide Aviation. I just noted that these were in stock. I'm sure they'll be out of stock quickly. So if you're in the need of some pilot heads, these just showed up at their door.
But no Little Pete.
Well, you don't know. He's wearing a helmet. There could be 3 little Pete's. And then I also wanted to share the AMA Air episode that came out actually last week. So they should be having a new one come out soon. And they talk about the Southwestern Model Show and the Remote ID sanctioned event waiver. Jason, have you seen the thread I started on Remote ID for? It was for Horizon.
I've been ignoring it. Well, kind of altogether.
Me too, but that thing's got like 90,000 views.
Yeah,
it's just a few months it's been
I'm
rolling.
Sure, it's a hot topic because it's a big deal. But yeah,
people care. You can watch the full show right here, and then there's also multiple links to head over to the AMA and check them out as well. Hey to y'all, and it's Jason Cole's What the Heck Wednesday.
What the heck Wednesday? I don't know what plane this is. I don't think anybody's told me, but if anybody recognizes what this airplane is, please go comment. But it looks like a fairly old model biplane. Maybe it's been converted to electric, but this is just some good old-fashioned tail-heavy fun, crashes, plane not really set up correctly, and carnage ensues. But man, this is a durable plane. If you watch the whole video, it takes some abuse.
Couple of notes here. A, I approve the Carhartt jacket he's wearing. B, while this is unfolding, I want to tell a story. Jason and I used to go to the field every Wednesday with Hobby Lobby, and we were met there by the saxophone player for the Rolling Stones, who would bring airplanes that he built. And he would often say, if Randy wouldn't do it, he would say, Jim, will you fly my plane I just built? And it took me 2 or 3 times before I realized that anything could happen. Anything could be wrong. I did start doing checks on these planes, but I'm not sure what's about to happen here, but I'm pretty sure it might be the same thing that I'm about to describe.
You might want to fast forward a little bit. Yeah.
His plane, that I was test flying for him, was so tail heavy it would only fly in a hover. I haven't hovered it all the way to the one side of the field, the other, not on purpose. and I could hover planes, but still, it was unnerving to know I could not get out of this hover. All right.
Yep. We've all been there.
Yeah, reversed ailerons, the whole deal.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh, we already missed it.
It's that fast, and there's multiple. So, but this is yeah.
I believe the CG is incorrect.
CG's a little out there. Anyway, they keep trying. I don't think it's really successful at any point, but it's flying a little bit. But go check it out. What the Heck Wednesday? Comment down below. Let us know what you think, and if you know what that airplane is, I'd love to see what that airplane is.
Next week, we're going to show an old-time fiery crash just to get everybody's juices flowing.
Boom.
Because that's what you like. Now, I just hit the wrong button. FrSky. I'm not sure how exactly you should say. Did you see this, Jason? Do you have any knowledge on what's happening?
I don't know, but I know radio technology keeps progressing forward, so I'm curious to hear about it.
Whenever I see something new, I post it, but I also verify 3 times it's actually new, because the last thing I want to do is talk to you about something you already know about. But this is new, and I did go through each piece here on what you should be aware of. And so there's a lot of information, and then you can go to the main site and get even more information.
Cool.
I do like the dials on the screen.
I do prefer the screen up top like that. All my Jetty radios have the screen above instead of below. So right. I like that. It's much more, user friendly.
I was also in an interview with an old-time pilot who runs a company who's been around forever. And I'm like, what are you most impressed with this year? And he was talking about FrSky radios and how impressive they were. So
nice. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that must be big. So this is a precursor, this high-tech prop wing race series. This is talking about when it's happening and what's going on. We've already looked at the photos. Jason, did you take a look at this one?
I drooled a little bit on my shirt when I saw that picture. I want that airplane. It looks so much.
So
so much fun.
Sorry, these are real deal pilots who live way far away in the most beautiful place you can fly.
I mean, this is the dream right here. This is my RC heaven is right here. just toss an airplane off the slope and just have a blast.
Oh, he's holding the plane up with his radio hand. I get it. So now he's just going to run off the waves that are caressing the edge of the sea.
It's beautiful. It's some of the most fun you can have in RC. If you've never tried it, find a place if you can and go do it. And that thing looks awesome.
And these guys are hardcore. Look at that. Yeah, I could see.
And it's
how you
terrain, like it's so quiet usually when you're sloping. There's no motor engine sounds. You hear like the composite ship, screaming through the air, and that's the only time you get it. It's exhilarating, and yet peaceful at the same time.
So Composite RC gliders, once again, a link down here. You can go learn more and check it out. There's a little reference size, which I always try to find a picture of reference so you know what's going on. Hobby King X-Fly 80 millimeter EDF. There is a lot of stuff coming out of Hobby King all of a sudden, and there's more things that I could talk about. Here is a quick video. Boy, I don't like music on RC videos.
Everyone, Chris here. Welcome back.
I want to hear the airplane,
Hold while it's accelerating and then initiate.
Okay, now we're in the air. Here we go.
Sounds good.
Rolling out. Go the other way.
What does sound like?
It's like they can get them like really close to turbine sounds. It's just interesting.
Rolling out.
So the EDF foamy section on our site is always insanely busy. Is this in the EDF foamy? Yeah, foamy EDF. And just crazy town. And so the fact that HK is bringing out this X-Fly lineup, P.S. we should be having more information on all this and how things are unfolding over there. Just stay tuned and we'll head back into the news. Jason, have you been to I believe that I just hit the wrong button. I've sent Miss Ashley to the RC swap meet in the past. Have you been to the Eli Field swap meet before?
Well, this is the very first one they're going to have. This is the first annual.
Okay, then I did not send it.
Yeah. So, but I've been to Eli Field. I've flown gliders out there. Been for the Aerotow event they've had. It's an awesome field. It's a cool place to fly. But now they're having a event for folks to come buy tables and set up their used gear and sell stuff. And Horizon Hobby's going to have stuff out there to sell, and some of the proceeds are going to be going towards Eli Field, which is a fantastic RC site. So if you're in that area, go check it out.
And be sure and make sure to find out if you're in the area, because I guarantee guys that we've talked about in this podcast that work at Horizon and create all the awesome airplanes are going to, I bet money, be walking around there. It would be like going to Hollywood and seeing some movie stars.
That's right.
All right. Well, you're headed to a wedding. The weather is finally warmed up and it's pretty out there. It's actually like 80 degrees today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Yeah. That's a lot of news. Huge thanks to RJ Gritter for taking time out. I've been trying to line this up since last week. And so he pinged me and said, hey, I can come on now. And here we are with that great interview and cool little airplane. And so go check that out. Jason Cole, a big thanks as always for joining us. Wait, there it is.
Get the thumbs up.
Do 2 thumbs and then maybe.
The show's been on fire.
All right. Now do a number 1 sign. See what happens. No?
Anything happen?
How about a peace sign? Try a peace sign. No? Okay. Just gives us 2 thumbs up and we'll get out of here.
Oh, I get some balloons. Party balloons. Yeah.
Technology. It's crazy. Hey, everyone. I'm Jim T. Graham. That's Jason Cole. We're RC Groups with the RC News. Hit subscribe and do all the things. We're going to keep coming back and making you aware of all the stuff you need to know in the RC world. And that is it. Jason and I are going to go back and we're going to be working furiously to find out things, learn things, create things, and do all the things. All right, Jason, talk to you later.
Have a great week, y'all.